How
How
are
are you?
you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right.
And I'm ready for our interview, so I'm excited.
All right. Let's get it popping.
We're here with actor extraordinaire Brian White.
Welcome to
Single Girl's Guide to Men. And what that is basically is kind of I can do battle by myself till I find what I'm looking for. So that's basically up your alley.
Until I find what I'm looking for.
Until I find what I'm looking for. Okay, so are you currently single?
I am not. I'm not married, but I'm not single.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so what type of woman catches your eye?
To me, it's how the first thing I notice is how a woman carries herself. You know, she can walk into a room. There could be 50 women that walk in the room, and only one of them is going to catch my eye by the way she presents herself to the world, carries herself, her confidence, you know, her swag. Most of that is nonverbal. And, you know, it's attention to detail. I will look at, you know, how a woman takes care of herself. You know, because it says a lot about, you know, the content of their character. If they care enough to, you know, take care of themselves on the outside and present themselves in a certain way. I'm a big intellect man. I love a smart, confident woman. I'm a big ambition man. I love a goal-oriented, ambitious woman. You know, I love a woman that challenges me, a strong woman. I have 5 younger sisters. I was raised by my mother, Estelle. So those are my role models. You know, I'm a big fan of women. You know, and I was raised by, you know, a house full of women. All strong women. All my younger sisters are college grads, except for the baby who's in college now. And so an educated woman. You know, those are the elements that I look for, you know, in a partner. And then, you know, I think I mentioned the sense of humor, but that's very, very important because at the end of the day in a relationship, what's most important is being able to share the most boring and mundane things together. You know, what you're going to watch on TV, what you're going to talk about, what you're going to read.
The quiet moment.
The quiet moment. So,
Yeah.
you know, I look for those things right away. And then all the other things you can work on, you can develop. But those things are the core essentials.
Okay. So I know that you were raised by your mom. And your grandmother had a strong influence, and like you said, you had 5 younger sisters. How do you think just that strong female presence in your life has shaped you as a man and the type of man that you want to be for your woman?
It's enhanced and forced me to develop my communication skills, to be able to articulate the way I feel in a way that's clear to the person I'm trying to communicate to. I mean, women are by and large much more emotional creatures than most men, and you know, use their words much better with each other than most men do with each other. So I've had to learn in a house full of women with no men around to just make it through the day without rubbing people the wrong way. So I've had to learn how to use my words and how to communicate. I think women are by and large just better communicators than men, and I think that's the skill that I've learned and developed most because of being raised by a house full of women.
Okay. What do you think is a must-have in making a relationship last?
A must-have, communication is key. I mean, it's the number one essential thing. If there's no communication, there is no relationship. You know, lots of stuff happens. You're basically intertwining 2 individual lives, and it's a shared thing. You know, neither person owns each other. Everybody has their own identity, and then you're sharing the majority of your life. You have to be able to communicate, you know, what you need, what you want, what you desire from each other and for each other as you move through that journey.
Okay. In a relationship, what's the absolute deal breaker?
What's the absolute deal breaker? For me, I would never, you know, move forward in a relationship with a woman that didn't want to have a family. You know, family's real important. I come from a large family. And I think marriage is for family in this day and age. In 2009, I mean, you can be with somebody and love somebody and be in a monogamous relationship forever and not even get married. But I think the institution of marriage is created to develop a family. So that family has the same last name. You know, you're going to be together. You're building your tribe. You're staking your claim. You're trying to find your piece of land in this earth and build your family and continue the generations. And I think that would be the deal breaker for me if, you know, I thought everything was perfect about a woman and then she said, you know, I'm not even interested in adopting. I just don't want to have any kids. It's just me and you forever. I would probably say, well, you know, I might have to settle for a little bit less because it's very important to me to have, you know, a large family, at least 2 children plus is what I'm looking for. And so, you know, that's the number one thing I think. In the first time I meet a woman that I'm attracted with, I say, you know, what's your view on family and kids? Do you want to have kids someday? And if the answer is yes, keep the party going. If the answer is no, I usually take a step back because that is paramount to me because of how I was raised.
To me, I think that's the dichotomy between men and women. I think men, especially at my age now, but I think that people get to the point where, especially women, will compromise what it is that we say that we want instead of knowing exactly what we want. I mean, that's one of the things I love about men is that they will have a goal or have a life goal and try to make sure that everything that they do meets that. So, I mean, that's what I like. And then I think about the difference in men and women in relationships. I see a lot of women settling for things in relationships that they don't truly want, and then they're not happy. So, I mean, kudos to you for that.
I think a lot to do with that is by nature and the way women are created, and then, what women have to bear to children, and there is a ticking clock. So, I mean, if family is important to women and you end up maybe in your earlier life focusing on education and career, and you end up at that point where you only have a certain amount of time, a lot of women do have to make concessions that they wouldn't otherwise make to have that family within that time period. And, it's not necessarily a fair part of nature, but it is nature, and those are the circumstances that dictate how we operate as male and female.
Right. Okay, so tell me about I Can Do Bad All by Myself, and tell me about your character, Randy.
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, Taraji's like a flower that's been starved of sunshine, and Randy's the cloud. That's a simple way to log line it. But it's a story about an alcoholic jazz singer, Taraji P. Henson. No, I won't call her alcoholic. I'll call her heavy drinking because she's not addicted to alcohol. She just hasn't gone a day without drinking for a while. And she is living with a married man, my character, Randy.
Another married man? What is Tyler doing to you? He had you married in the last one, and Daddy's little girl. Now you're married now.
This morning, talking about some different projects and different portrayals of good characters. Okay, some different characters. And so I'm excited about that, but I ask to play Randy.
Okay.
I like playing characters that are disparate from me. I get to, test my chops. I get to push myself. I get to develop my skills as an actor. I'm a student of the craft, and so I look for as many diverse roles as I can. Comedy art is different from the family. It's different from breaking. It's different from I Can Do That All by Myself. I try not to do the same thing or too similar to things twice in a row or twice at all if I can help it. And when I read this script and I knew that Taraji was a part of the movie, I left the chance and literally let him give me a shot. And he said, "Sure." And I said, "Is this the role you're interested in?" And I said, "Man, of course." The opportunity to work with Ms. Henson, is paramount, and the pleasure and the joy and the learning experience always to work with him. So that's why I wanted to do this particular project.
I want to thank actor Brian J. White for coming through and blessing us with an interview. Don't forget to go and support him and Tyler and Taraji P. Henson and I Can Do Bad All by Myself in theaters right now. And if you want to hear the full and complete interview, you have to go and log on to theplayer'sloungeonline.com and you can listen to the full interview there, and it will be available for download this week. Take care. Goodbye.